the sound test room.
Hello and welcome to the Sound Test Room. My name is Jakob Hack. I'm your host, and you're watching the Hack Attack Show. Now, my voice is coming back, and I'm feeling better for each and every day. So, thank you so much for all your well wishings and all your honey tea recipes that you've been sharing with me. They've definitely helped, so thank you very much. Sampling vinyl. A lot of music wouldn't exist today if we didn't sample from one another, and what you already do today is based upon someone else's idea, so you can debate that all you want. And what I'm showing you can be considered it could be an illegal action unless you clear your samples. If you take something and you can clearly hear what it is and where it comes from, you need to clear that sample. Seriously, you need to do that, and there are services to do that. You can Google it. You don't have to Google for 10 minutes. You can find it in a few seconds by just searching for clearing samples for music or something like that. I probably won't monetize this video, even though you won't be able to hear or see what I'm sampling, really. A few weeks ago, I got a hold of a Behringer UCA202. It's a very nice little device that helps you in, putting audio into your iPad. Very nice. And so I connected my trusty Stanton. It's a vinyl deck. It's the one. It's got a straight arm, so it's the kind of vinyl deck that you use as an MC and stuff like that. So what I did then was I just took one of my favorite jazz vinyls. I have a whole collection in my vinyl collection of jazz, just jazz. I love jazz. And then I just kind of move through a track by pulling the vinyl back and forth, trying to find a place to sample. And I found a place of some really nice upright bass. Oh my god, upright bass stuff there. So I recorded that into Cubasis, and I kept on doing that. And I was planning on, building up a beat inside Cubasis. So that's basically what I did. I just cut off samples. I recorded more and more upright bass samples, pulling in on the ends and start points, fading, and just making small short samples that I could use. Now, the Behringer UCA202 is really cool to have. It's USB powered, and you just plug it into your iPhone, your iPad, whatever, and it just runs, it just runs. And then you plug your headphones into the Behringer UCA202 and just start recording stuff. The only thing I want to warn you about is that the Behringer UCA202, it adds a bit of noise, and you can clearly see that in this shot right here. But it's really nice to have. So what I did was I processed it a bit using some compressors and some EQ, and I ended up with a fairly cool loop. Now that's pretty cool, and as soon as I did that, I realized that I had like 6 samples that I could use directly in Yellowfire, and it has 8 pads, so when you put audio in it, it will detect the silences between the audio, between the wave files, the beginning and the end, and it will cut it up and place it on the pads. So right here I have 6 samples. They're already cut up, so there's silence in between them. So if I export this into a WAV file, which I have, and you do that by, choosing the area you want to export, and then you press, you go to Mixdown and press Create Mixdown. Untick that. Include effect tail is always ticked when you start up Cubasis every time. So I untick that, and then I tick the range between locators, and it's these things here. And then I just press start, and it will export it, and there we have it, the vinyl sample right there. So, and then I press the share and open with, and then I go and find Yellowfire. And it opens up, and it puts the sample right into bank A. You have 2 banks that you can have samples in, and so if you have Yellowfire open and you switch to bank B and then go to Cubase's and export it, it will automatically put it into bank B. So remember that, unless you want to get really furious and wondering why you can't get samples into bank B. It's because you got to have it chosen before you do anything, before you export the sample. So we have all the samples right there on the pads, and that's very nice. But you can hear a little clicky noise at the end. And we can remove that by just moving the place, the starting point of the next pad. Now that will offset the samples a little bit, so they will start later than they should. And that's tricky. When I export something, when I'm done with something in Yellowfire, I always have to offset it right in Cubase, moving it just a little bit, just carving a bit of the beginning and moving it back, and then I have to do some tricks with the end because it's a bit too short. But that's just something I just love working like this. I feel free when I do. So maybe not that much, but let's listen. As you can hear, no click, so yeah, I'm not going to do the rest of them. What I have done is I've already prepared a project. So let's go back here, go to save and load, and choose Yellowfied Vinyl Beats. These are 4 bars that I've made, and in the first bar these are just drums that comes from Yellowfire, that you get with Yellowfire, and these are actually sounds made by Yellow, the group Yellow. 2 guys from Italy, I think. Really nice music. They have they've made quite a few legendary epic tracks that you can still hear in movies and stuff. So there's some cool Yellow sounds in here, and let's have a listen at the drums only first. So these samples I haven't made, they're from Yellow. You can get some really cool action going on here because it's so easy. It's you just choose the sample you want and then you place it like this. So let's just pull down the volume and let's open up a new one here. Those are my recordings, and that's how you switch. You have your recordings right there, bank A and B, and then you have the Yellow sound library right there. So from 1 up to 6, 6 different libraries. So that's 6 times 8 samples. Bass samples. And then you can pitch it by holding and pulling down and up. You can pitch it like a whole octave down or a whole octave up. If you just do that, you will just bring down the volume. So you gotta hold and then pull. So that's a cool thing. And then you have all these effects that you can use, and I'll just put this in, and you can switch the effect, how the effect works by holding it and pulling it to the side. Wait, not like that, like this. So you can really build some really cool stuff here. I'm gonna remove these now, and I'm just gonna show you what I've done. So let's have a listen to some Yellowfied Vinyl Beats. That's basically how you get some vinyl sounds into your iPad. You know, have a fun time doing it and making some great music. So go out there and sample something. Just remember to clear your samples and don't do anything illegal, alright? I'm not telling you to do anything illegal. Don't do anything bad. As usual, Doug Woods, Colin Sweeney, and me, Jakob Hack at thesoundtestroom.com, wishes you a very productive week now. Go finger your surfaces and sample stuff legally, alright? Yeah.